Come on, dude.
Here we go. So they're finally here. Performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you want to clap as we take you through this funky rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire and spurt. If he shoots up, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. DK, Donkey Kong, DK, Donkey Kong is here. This card starts now, so listen up to keep the shrink inside to suit the move. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can go through the air and climb up a tree. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong with a skip and a hop. She's one cool ball. D.A. Donkey Kong. He has no style. He has no grace. This Kong has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you. Inflate himself just like a balloon. This crazy Kong just digs his chest.
Come on, dude.
Donkey Kong, D.A. Donkey Kong is here. He's back again and about time too. And this time, he's in the mood. He can fly real high with his jetpack on, with his pistols out. He's one tough cop. He'll make you smile when he plays his tune. But remnants beware, cause he's after you.
Alright.
Donkey,
Think we all get the picture here. Alright, let's get this party started, man. Not a whole lot to talk about. But you know what? We got a lot to talk about, as always. So thank you very much, everybody. How we looking, Tom? Are we live over here? Bring that up a notch. What are we doing over here? What are we twiddling the dials here for? Come on now. Alright. And then the last piece of the puzzle. Welcome to Geezy Truth News! It is August 21st, 2019! That's right, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Callers call in. The phone line should be open. Got a lot to talk about and a whole lot of nothing at the same time. We're just going to take care of right to the nitty-gritty. Going to get to the point, get to the basics. Callers call in, see what's going on, and we're out of here. We don't got time for any of this. So, thank you very much. That's right. Jeezy's back in action. Everybody's back in action. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we all got things to do. Here we go. Where's the sound bite? There you go. Welcome to Geezy Truth News.
Big Dick.
Hey, what's going on?
So, what's the topic for tonight? You know, unfortunately, I'm not able to tune in on the broadcast, but I know that you got your show going. Always happy to contribute.
Yeah, thank you very much. Is this correspondent Mr. Arturo?
The one and only, my friend.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so what's going on? Yeah, well, we're talking about...
Now, what do you think of the Epstein developments? Now, is that good or bad for your Pizzagate cause?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here the whole thing is that that's a huge thing right now. That is like pretty much the biggest update. We still don't have anything from Q since August 1st. But the biggest thing with the Epstein thing is obviously it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody knows that this is bull sneezy here. So Epstein, exactly what it sounds like. They say that he killed himself They say that one of the idiots was trying to drop the case. It's ridiculous. So Saturday, August 10th, I believe it was, he allegedly kills himself which was Saturday. The next day, Sunday, apparently the leading prosecutor was apparently he died too. I don't know if they're saying by suicide or by what. So I mean, it's just complete garbage. I mean, you would have to be a complete. I mean, for the lack of a better word, you would have to be a complete retard to buy into this.
Yeah, well, this
is
the funniest part about it all is the fact that someone died by suicide on Suicide Watch, and that's how you know it's bull sneezy.
Yeah, exactly.
He died for the exact reason he was being monitored for.
Exactly. It's all of that. All of that. It's all such a joke. It's so ridiculous. Exactly. So what's next? So now we have to wait till somebody. I mean, all we can do is trust in the white hats for them to be able to uncover all this crap. We have to hope that Attorney General Bill Barr.
What's Donnie Boy's opinion on this? Because you know he's not affiliated with that.
What's Donnie Boy opinion? Who knows what his opinion? His opinion is obviously his most recent one that I know of. Is he obviously wasn't impressed. Actually, the coolest thing about Donnie Boy, what he did was he tweeted saying that the Clintons killed him. Like he tweeted this guy, I forgot his name. If I can remember his name, this guy, his name's like Clarence or something. He made a tweet just like as we all, Terrence K. Williams. Here, I'll even post it on the Geezy thing. Or Tom and Jerry over there twiddling the dials will. But so Donnie Boy retweeted Terrence K. Williams' post about saying that obviously the Clintons killed him. We obviously this whole Clinton thing. They were calling it the Clinton body bags or something like that. So
yeah, man.
So it's pretty huge. So to answer your question is that Donnie Boy's onto the. It's hard to even call it a conspiracy because a conspiracy is in silence. This is not. Everybody is pretty up. It's all in the open now. There's no conspiracy. It's all open book. It's all anybody who's interested in reading about it, who's doing the due diligence and research, can find all the answers in front of their face. Obviously, if there's other people, if they're watching whatever garbage that they're looking at or whatever, everybody's got problems, which is understandable. But
yeah,
it's like, if you want to take care of real problems, it's like, how important are your actual problems? It's like, yeah, of course, tough times, good times.
This is my question. So, where does the pizza fit in this whole Pizzagate? What's up with that?
Because cheese pizza means child pornography. That's their biggest lingo. These pedophiles have a language and lingo. It's like, how in prison gangs have prison talk and they have all these codes?
Yeah, so cheese pizza.
So pedophiles have the same type of lingo. Like walnut sauce means like sucking off like a boy's dick or something like that. I don't know exactly. You'd have to.
Damn, son.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. And not only that, this is not, again, everything that I say is straight fact, and it's all up on everywhere. You could on the CIA, FBI reports, on all this stuff. And you could look it up on the pedophile lingo. That's what they call it. They call cheese pizza child pornography. They call walnut sauce some dick sucking maneuver. They call all those different kinds of stuff. That it's outrageous, and it blows me away. I was talking to someone the other day, and he's still a firm believer that Donnie Boy's gonna lose in 2020, and they still think that everybody's a joke. It's like, dude, some of these people are not paying attention. I mean, it's mind blowing how. Even Democrats say themselves that they're reporting on their own set of facts, and then Republicans will report on their own set of facts. So it's two separate set of facts. I don't understand how any of that is possible. You could just look up on, forget forget all these stupid little websites that they factcheck.com and beatbop.com. Hey, you can go straight from the horse's mouth. You go to FBI.gov or CIA.gov, all those documents. Most of them are not released, obviously, but some of them, at least the Pizzagate one, is, and it's all right here, all right there. Tell me, why would that... All these yahoos who are saying, oh, how can you be so ridiculous about this Pizzagate thing? Tell me this. Why would John Podesta have a golden sculpture? Who knows how much money he spent? Probably on our tax dollar. A sculpture of the... What was that? What was that guy who ate people? That serial killer. Not Charles Manson, the other one.
Dahmer?
Dahmer, yeah. Is it Charlie Dahmer? Charles Dahmer? The guy... John, you know who John Podesta is, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so this guy has an exact replica of the body that the Jeffrey Dahmer was eating. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, this is like a head of the White House, head of the government. Like, this guy was like a freaking somebody up in the White. All these guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions. I mean, this is just ridiculous. That's just one little tiny thing, and that's not even acceptable. That's not even to talk about all the stupid pictures on the wall. Why does he have naked kids, paintings of naked kids in his house? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Who in the right mind is gonna buy this shit? Is someone gonna say, "Oh, this is fine. This is this is taste"?
They're sick. This is the thing I.
You should be hung.
You're the most powerful, richest people in the world. And what? You're tired of 10 out of 10 models, so you have to move to kids. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
It's what it. I think it's much more than that. I think. Who knows? We obviously have no idea what's going on, but obviously there's the elite group. The elite are obviously pedophiles. You know, they're just somehow. For some reason, pedophiles are apparently smart, and at least these ones, some of them, they're in power, they're ahead, and this is what they do. They like to diddle kids, and they have this whole entire thing wrapped up, and it's all, there's just so many things.
Yep.
Another fact, another statistical fact, is that every year on Halloween, the most kids go missing. Never mind the fact that hundreds of thousands of kids go missing every year just in the U.S. alone. But every year on Halloween, there's, in Virginia, in an area in Virginia, which is right next to D.C., there's a massive amounts of kids that go missing every year. Nobody talks about it. Nobody reports on it. When you look at the news, they're always talking about some kind of bullshit that nobody cares about. And of course, they're never going to talk about the real problems. We need to back the... it's what I've been talking about for years. It's what anybody's been talking about for years. They kill me, they're going to get somebody else.
Listen, man. This is what it is. Did you hear the story about, you remember how Donnie Boy, he called, I don't know, Baltimore, like some sort of a shithole or something like that?
Sure.
He took like a trip to Virginia, in the Black Caucus of Virginia, refused to meet with him. Meanwhile, they honor the fact that their governor is blatant racist. You remember the whole white blackface KKK picture that he took?
Sure.
Yeah, man, it's a backwards world, man. So what are you gonna do about it? Unfuck it up?
Right, but so what's your point there?
Hey, man, my point is, people do fucked up shit, man.
The snowflakes and the people. I mean, that is just so beyond. That is so below what we're talking. We're talking about. We're talking about like children getting raped. Who cares what white person or black person or Asian person or any? Who cares what you think? Who cares about your feelings? When there's kids getting raped left and right, American people are getting raped left and right by the Federal Reserve. The pedophiles are diddling kids left and right. I mean, it's like when you talk about problems like that, it's like, oh, someone called you a cracker. It's like boo-hoo. Somebody called you an offensive slur. It's like, why don't you put it in the comment box and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man. Trust me, been there, done that. It's not something I wish to get involved in anymore.
Exactly. That's why we're not talking about any of that. That's why this is all I do in terms of the show. The two main things that need to be talked about. The Epstein thing is huge because it seems like we're at a crux of the whole thing. I mean, it's the 21st of August, and
you want to know what?
Q said it was going to be a big deal.
Here, let's forget about Epstein for a second. I'm tired of hearing about that guy. We already know what's up. Why are we beating a dead horse?
Well, we don't know what's up. This is just the beginning.
He was killed, man, because they're trying to cover shit.
He was killed, but we need to figure out who, why, when, what.
Profile people he would implicate. Like, we know what's up, man. You even said it. Cheese pizza. Hold the anchovies.
Right, but we still don't know the whole picture, and you're right, maybe we'll never know the whole picture, but we need to hold these people accountable. This is the whole thing. Once we arrest and convict all these pedophiles and back the currency by the U.S. Gold and get rid of the Federal Reserve, you know what? I'm going to hang up my tie and go relax in the Caribbean. I'd be fine.
Yeah, you don't want to go there, man. You might get implicated as well.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
Go to, like, go to, I don't know. Anyway, long story short is this, man. I wanted to, poke your brain for a second. You want to know what the next move of the Fed is? They've already eliminated the gold standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the money that we have is just simply credit, you could call it. Credit and debt. So you want to know what they're going to eliminate next? Property. That's the next thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's classic communism. That's classic.
Yeah, anything that is actually worth something, they take away and they take possession of it. So you think they're finished at the monetary system? Not at all, buddy. Not at all. Squat on that for a night.
Well, that's going to take. That's the same argument of taking our guns. I don't think that's going to happen because, like you and I talked about before, that taking guns is a fool's errand, and so is taking property.
Yeah. Well, it didn't. The phrase didn't used to be life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It was actually the original inalienable rights was life, liberty, and property.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what made a man. It's nutty.
Yeah.
I've come up with a lot of different things. The whole, now this is going to get edgy, but, on your show you talk about some edgy crap. Do you believe in white privilege, yes or no?
Do I believe in white privilege?
Yeah.
No, of course not. None of these liberal ideas are real. None of these. It's all just communist tactics. It's all just useful idiots.
Listen, man. Let me break something down for you. Something I've been pondering on. All right. So what the government will do, and they've done this in governments all over the world, is they will promise the people the world. They'll sell them the dream. Oh, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get that for free. But in reality, what their strategy is they keep the people dependent on the government, and they forever hold them oppressed in the underclass, all right, as secondary citizens. There's the bourgeoisie, and then there's the sorry pleb, all right, and it's been like that for ages. So the way that these, and let's just face it, our society, and you can't deny this, man, but let me go full circle, so let me, just oblige me for a second, all right?
Mm-hmm.
What it is that, we had a government, whatever, slavery was legal, the black people were slaves, and it's just the natural course, it created a dual, citizenry, a higher class and an upper class, and unfortunately black people fell in the underclass. And then what happened is, that form of slavery, that plantation mentality, manifested in the government in a different way, and that's through like handouts and crap like that. All right, are we on the same page? As far as explanation? Yeah. So this is my ultimate. This is the ultimate premise, conclusion, whatever you want to talk about it. As long as black people continue to accept handouts, right? White privilege will continue to exist. That is what it comes down to, man. Name a person that is self-sufficient, right? A self-sufficient individual, not dependent on anybody, that is oppressed, you know, or a second-class citizen. Think about this. Asians, they don't accept handouts from the government generally, and there's no such thing as, Asian privilege. You know, they're completely self-sufficient. You know, call it what you want. They go to Harvard and buy their way into Harvard and are rich as hell. You all know that. Mm-hmm. Even Hispanic people are generally not dependent on the government. They're trying to make them dependent on the government, but they're not as second-class citizens either, man. Have you ever met anybody that just loves free crap?
Sure. I mean, there's plenty of people out there.
Yeah, those people that love the free crap, man, they love it. They love it. Why? Because they can't do anything for themselves, and they'll just complain. Think about that. As soon as they stop accepting the free crap, and
no, of course, this is clout. You're talking about.
They will be empowered.
You're talking about a classic tactic that's been going on for hundreds of years, and
yep. So that's
it's nothing new.
Whole theory.
Many people know it.
White privilege will end when people stop accepting handouts. Point blank. That's why this Andrew Yang, crook. He's going to put everybody on a government dependency. It's terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. And people are eating it up, man. This is tyranny 101. You sell people the dream, tell them they're going to get $1,000 a month, and then they become slaves of the government. Back on the plantation. Never accept no handouts. All right. No food stamps, no welfare, no Medicare. Look, you gotta you can't depend on anybody to give you anything, man. Otherwise, they own you. Except your parents, of course, but that's different. That's family. And that's my theory, man. You're either going to be owned because from debt. You're going to be owned by the government. You will continue to be a slave as long as you have somebody doling you out the dough, or you owe them dough. You know, people should be owing you dough.
Yeah.
That's my conjecture, man. That is my simple conjecture.
Well, so what is exactly
what is not in the tradition of the theme of your show, but thought I'd spice it up.
Well, I don't get it. What is exactly you explained a tactic that's hundreds of years old. What's your new epiphany?
Yeah, but this whole white privilege thing. If we say yeah, it exists, I'll tell you how to end white privilege, and that's to stop accepting handouts. That's the easy thing to do. That's why I said this Andrew Yang crook is telling everybody you can give everybody $1,000 a month no matter what.
Yeah, none of that is going to happen. It's all
cause terrible inflation. It's going to destroy our economy. It's going to be horrible. And
why stop at 1,000? Why not 10,000, 80,000? Why not 80,000 an hour?
Exactly, and it's like the whole thing with the minimum wage, like 15. Where did they get the 15 number? Why can't it be like 34? You know, if everybody's all of a sudden getting $15 minimum wage, don't you think the cost of living is going to rise proportionately? So that $15.
Of course. It's a moot point. Anybody, I mean, yeah, it's good to explain this, but this is beyond helping. I mean, in order to fix these things is ending the Fed and getting rid of the pedogate. Otherwise, it's just going to keep happening. And when this is, and there's going to be a point. There's going to be a breaking point. when we start getting 80,000 an hour, and when minimum wage is $500 an it's going to get to a point where it's just not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah,
So there's two ways of doing this. We could do it the right way and fix it before it all crashes and burns, or we're just going to have to wait till it all crashes and burns, which is what most people think is going to happen anyway. So it is what it is. It's like, what do you...
And this is another thing, man. Let me break it down one more way for you. Give me a second. Now, I'm no economist, right? But let's say we go back to the gold standard, whatever that may be. There's a finite amount of gold. Yeah, sure, you can mine gold. You can always find more. But let's just, come to the conclusion. There's a finite amount of gold. That's what makes it valuable, right? And so when you back the dollar with something that's actually real, it gives it value, right?
Right.
But this is where things get kind of hairy. All right, there's a finite amount of gold, and there's so many people in the world, and our economy is so big that there isn't enough gold to back our, entire currency. So you
Sure there is. There's plenty of gold. Plenty.
Okay, let's say I don't know how they measure the money of our economy. How much money is flowing through our economy? Trillions, quadrillion, I don't know. I don't know how they value the economy, right? But think about this. An ounce of gold, right? Let's say an ounce of gold used to be like $1, right? My point is this. They're going to just keep breaking down the fractions. Let's say you have 100 pounds of gold. That's all the gold in the world, right? For all the people, most people, only the richest people would have that gold, right? There'd be like a handful of tippy-top people. So what they'll do at that point is they'll make a fraction of a fraction, and then a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, and then a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, to always have currency in place. So you can easily inflate gold as well, man. You just
because if it's backed...
smaller and smaller bits. It's called splitting, man. Like you have a certain amount of shares of a company. Let's say you hold 10 shares, right? And the company wants the shares available to more people. So they're going to say, we're going to multiply everybody's shares by 10. So now your 10 shares, you get a total of 100. And now somebody can buy in at a cheaper rate because you have just, exponentially increased the amount. Now you're 1/10, easier of a buy-in. And then you split that again. And you keep dividing it into smaller pieces. You keep the whole the same, but you just
exactly. That's the whole thing. Is that when you have a whole, when you have gold, you can't add anything to it. You have the gold and that's it. There's no.
You can't. Yeah, you're right. You can't add anything to it. All right. Let's say you have an ounce of gold, right? You smash it one time, it breaks in half, and now you have 2 halves. You smash it again, and now
that's what keeps the economy legitimate. Right now, we don't have a legitimate economy because they keep inflating it and deflating it and printing more money and this and that and this and that, and that's why the economy is a joke. If it was backed by actual merit and gold and all that, if it was actually structured correctly, then it would be a legitimate economy. People would actually thrive, and the economy would actually thrive. Not this fake economy, which doesn't do anything. It doesn't help anybody except for the top 1%.
My point is this: just like you can print more money, you can keep dividing gold into smaller parts. That makes sense?
Well, yeah, sure, but it's only divisible by so much. Like that. That's it.
No, you keep dividing it further and further and further into infinity.
Right, that's fine.
What I was saying.
But the whole stays the same.
Listen, you have one whole piece of gold. You divide it in half. Now you have 2 pieces. So it's worth half the amount. Together they're worth the same amount, but separately it's half. You divide it in 2 again. Now you have 4, and then 8. 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 500, whatever, 30 something. You
Right.
see how it's still the same amount, except now you have more parts every single time. So eventually you'll get to, 1 millionth, and that's essentially valueless, right?
Right, but it's better than the magic that the Federal Reserve is pushing right now with the 11th marble. There's no 11th marble.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, 11th marble, but I don't know, just something that...
It means that what the Federal Reserve is doing is, okay, so you have 100% gold, but somehow they're printing more gold. That's what they're doing. That's why everything is a joke now.
Well, they're not really printing more... I wouldn't say it like that. That's not the best...
That's exactly what they're doing. They're printing more money. That's exactly what... And I can even tell you the jingles that they use, the jingo that they wear or whatever. They say fractional reserve lending. They say quantitative easing. They say, bullshit like that.
Fractional reserve lending is just banks lending to other banks.
Yeah, exactly. And and they're saying that, okay, so you give us this, and we're going to give you more money, but we need 2% back on the interest. But that's impossible, because how can you pay them?
It's nutty as hell, man.
If all you have is $100, if I loan you $100 and that's all you have and that's all you got, you're a country, you're the government, all you got is $100. I give you $100 and I want 120 back. How is that possible? Where are you going to get that extra 20 from?
Yeah, in that case, it wouldn't make sense. But if you
that's how it works. That's how the Federal Reserve works.
If I give you $2 and I want $4 back, that's definitely possible. You can't do it with the total of the money.
Yeah, exactly. That is why
listen to this. This
we're
is
in this situation.
All right. Let's say you have a group of people, and there's one loaf of bread. Okay, there's one loaf of bread. All right. Between 2 people, they're going to be well fed. Between 4 people, they're still going to be well fed. Between 8 people, now they're still going to be fed, but they're not going to get that much food. All right. And then between 16 people, now people can only have 1 slice for the entire day. And it's still that same amount of bread, but it becomes less and less valuable or, nutritious or sustainable, because at one point you're just eating a crumb. All right? Yeah, technically the whole loaf is there, but between 100 people, now all you're eating is a fucking crumb of bread. You see what I mean? It
doesn't work. You can't compare money with food. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, those are incomparable. You can't compare, because food you can grow, and everybody, the more people, the more food you grow. The food.
I'm just using it as an example.
With money, you can't grow money. You can't create it out of thin air.
Like that. I'm talking about the concept. I'm just talking about the concept. Like, substitute whatever you want, man. Like, let's say you needed cotton balls or something like that, right? Cotton balls was currency. You have one huge-ass cotton ball.
It's incomparable. You can't compare it to any other kind of material. Money is money. It's finance, and the only way to describe finance is through
gold is a material,
the way it works.
Gold is a material just as a cotton ball is a material, just as a piece of bread is material.
No, money is an idea, and that's how the money systems work, and that's how people get around and all that. Other materials like cotton balls and food and all that other stuff. That's totally. They're all commodities. They're all different.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to illustrate a point. I'm not saying that they're the same, but
the point is that the Federal Reserve needs to be taken down. It's why I'm sure you've seen that graph, the famous graph of the people's incomes and the people and the rate of inflation, and the inflation is skyrocketing while the incomes are staying the same, and the purchasing power is worth nothing, and it's all a disaster. It's a disaster, is what it is. It's all a disaster.
It's crazy, we can talk circles around this, but it is a crazy concept.
Well, no, it's not circles. It's very straight to the point. It's very straight to the point. There's no ifs, buts. That's the beauty of it. There's no ifs, buts, and ands about it. It's straight to the point. They have what they're doing with the Federal Reserve is an ingenious idea that they came up with to enslave the world, and the way that I've been saying, that JFK's been saying, that everybody's been saying, that Lincoln was saying, that anybody was saying, is decentralized. The biggest takeaway is that the Federal Reserve is centralized, and what we need is decentralized. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. No, I got you. Anyway, Jeezy, it's been real. I'm gonna get going, but I'm glad we could have this chat.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much, Correspondent Arturo. Call anytime.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Blow me up, Sean.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, great.
Yeah, still got to work that one out. Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, so yeah, what can I say? I mean, and then I think we already mentioned it earlier today, but check it out. We posted it on the thing, on the bulletin board or whatever you call it. We'll have it on the website and everywhere else too. Sign the petition. Should be good. So it's we created the petition to end the Fed and back the dollar. I'm sure that I'm sure there's plenty of people who already have that. But you know how it goes. So yeah, the Epstein thing, big deal. All this stuff. The Epstein thing is a huge thing. Q thing is updated since August 1st. All right, nothing since August 1st. What else? Let's see, do we do this? So there you go. So, and then with the economy, what else can we talk about? There's nothing on the news that I see. Everything is just fake news or jibber jabber, all this and all that. Here, Blackstone's Byron will lend to the Fed. The stock market and economy don't need a rate cut. We all know what we got to do. We just took care of all that. So it isn't nothing else. The market, it dropped a few hundred past few days. It's 26,202 right now. The Dow Jones. And Bitcoin is 9,984. And gold went up a bit. Just a couple hundred. Last I checked, it's at 1,500. It's at 1,501 and 50 cents right now. So there you go. I mean, slow changes or not, that's what we're trying to figure out. We got to get to the bottom of the Epstein thing. That is the biggest thing. I mean, he kills himself, and then the next day the prosecutor kills himself or something like that. I don't know if we'll be able to find that one. Let's see. It's pretty amazing. Here we go. Federal judge overseeing release of Jeffrey Epstein's sealed records found dead. So there you go. We're going to post it. We're going to post that. I'm just going to post anything we can. I'm sure there's always things that we miss and there's always things to talk about, but this is pretty much the main shell. I mean, what else? What else could you possibly be talking about? They're doing these false flags. They're doing all this and all that. There's all this corruption in Congress and in the government. I mean, it's all very mind-blowing, but we're all one step at a time. So we're all working towards the cause of fixing it taking care of business, and that's about it. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Keep in touch for next show, for next time, and actually, hopefully we'll have a special guest on air next week, and so stay tuned for that. Keep in touch, and we'll see what it's all about. Geezy is out.